Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well, because I certainly am not after the most recent Konami policy change. It is absolutely ridiculous. They have absolutely killed Time Wizard, and I just don't understand why. Now, I will show you the policy update for those who do not know. Now, this is currently only in effect for the NA World Championship qualifiers, as far as I'm aware, but as we've seen with previous policy changes, like the map changes, these will very likely be coming to all other big tournaments if we don't give enough kickback. So what is this change? What has killed Time Wizard? Well, there is one line of text, and it says, essentially, that all errated cards in Time Wizard format will now use the modern text. How stupid do you have to be, Konami? Okay, let me just rephrase that for everyone. Let's use Edison as an example, right? Okay. You can play, Konami offer a Time Wizard format where you can play 2010 cards with 2010 ban list, 2010 release, but you use the 2025 text because that makes sense. And whilst this might seem like a nothing change to people that don't play the format, I mean, what is it? A couple of cards get changed? No, it's pretty much every single interaction gets changed. Not only do the card interactions and text change, we're losing stuff like priority, which changes so much of the game. Again, I'm going to be mainly focusing on Edison because that's what I've played the most. These changes, including the removal of priority, kill a bunch of decks. Lightsworn is the biggest example for a loser from priority, I think, because, for example, JD has the pay 1000, destroy everything. With priority, you can summon it, declare priority before your opponent gets a chance to respond, and the only way they can stop it from happening is something like a Solemn Judgment, which negates the summon. Now, you won't get a chance to use priority, so if they have anything that removes it from the board, bottomless trap hole, etc., good luck, Lightsworn. Like, you can't do it, not anymore, not at these big tournaments that, because of this policy change. It is insane. Not to mention, this is going to lead to a disgusting format if this stays, because old floodgates weren't as powerful as they were today. Again, Edison is an example. I played Wang Control, which, if you want the deck, check it out, is going to be a lot better now, which is essentially a stun deck for Edison. So currently in Edison, if you are facing a floodgate like there can be only one, you can still attempt to summon another of the same type as long as you get rid of the other type. For example, if you were to tribute summon over it, you could still do it even if it was the same type, because that's how floodgates used to work back in 2010. But now with these rule changes, it's like the modern day. You can't even attempt to summon that. So now, floodgates become so much more powerful in one of the few kind of formats where it felt like floodgates weren't a kind of instant win button. Yeah, sure, some against some decks, I can admit Royal Oppression against my Giga Vise hurts, but it doesn't hurt as much as getting a Teak-Boo flipped on me against a modern deck. And now, the same floodgates, they're coming back. And not to mention, most of them are unlimited as well. So, I don't know what they want for this format, but we can assume a couple of things from these changes as to why. Because at least with the previous policy change with the mats, there was outrage, but there was a reason why, so not have all those weird feet mats going on. But this is a very unexplainable change. There were only a couple of reasons, and they do seem arbitrary. It seems fucking pointless, honestly. You can tell I'm annoyed about this, because as someone who collects cards, I only max rarity my old decks because I know they're not going to change, you know? They're always going to be relevant because nothing's going to change in the Time Wizard formats because that's the fucking point of Time Wizard. Oh my god. So fucking frustrated. I know you can tell. And I hope you are too, because this change cannot go through. But anyway, I got a bit sidetracked. What could possibly be the motivator behind these changes? Now, one that is probably more on the tinfoil hat side is Master Duel. So a lot of people are saying that the pipeline from Master Duel into kind of modern Yu-Gi-Oh is a bit confusing, and they want to clear up kind of Edison and Time Wizard formats so that anyone coming from Master Duel won't be kind of alienated when going into these Time Wizard formats, because, you know, they won't sit down for a match and then your opponent goes, yeah, no, that's not how that card works, that's not how it read in 2010. Now, I can kind of see the logic behind this, but at the same time, really, it hasn't been a problem so far. And lest we forget who kind of popularized Time Wizard, it was the players. It was what the players wanted. And the best thing Konami did up to this point was just to run with how the players liked it. And it's one of the most loved things in the Yu-Gi-Oh community. If you don't like the modern metagame, you go play Edison for a bit. You go play GOAT for a bit. Like, that is now lost. I don't think this pipeline improvement is really the reason here. If it is, I will be absolutely shocked that it isn't covering for something else. But there are a couple of more kind of conspiracies that people have cooked up. So the next one is that they don't want to kind of have to get more judges just for the Time Wizard events, rather than just having all judges be able to know exactly what by looking up stuff. Like, they will know, if they know modern rulings, they will know Edison rulings. There's not going to be like a judge that knows Edison more than another one, because it's going to be all the same rulings now. I think that's the most likely reason that they're going to give for this. However, I still think that is a terrible, terrible decision. Konami are going to see massive plummets, because you are literally destroying the format just to save on a few staff. And even then, staff aren't paid cash. You need to remember this. They get paid in like merch. They get paid in boxes. So a couple extra boxes is what they're saving on here, killing an entire like community-driven format, multiple formats. It is not worth it. It is the worst change I've ever seen Konami make. Granted, I started playing after Master Rule 5, so yeah. Another one people are throwing about is money. I mean, it kind of links into the previous kind of conspiracy that they're trying to save on judge costs, but really, you shouldn't make money at these tournaments. That isn't what tournaments are about. You can look at any major game. Look at Counter-Strike, the Counter-Strike major going on right now. Do you think they're making money? Probably, because of gambling. But the major itself is a big spend. The point of tournaments like this is to build up hype, to build up publicity. It's to get people into your product that weren't into your product before. And yet, with this, it's going to drive more people away, because people that are interested in coming back, especially from people who played the game last 15 years ago, probably around Edison format, have now learned that Edison format and such are not what they used to be, and they can no longer play the Yu-Gi-Oh that they used to like at official tournaments. I think this is just insane. I don't think there's any rationale behind this change that can actually kind of make it worth it. I really enjoy Time Wizard, and that was the only reason I was willing to kind of bring myself to these big events, because I can play the modern metagame on Master Duel, man. I can play the modern metagame on anything, locals, whatever. But massive Time Wizard tournaments are hard to come by, and yet now they are going to be pretty much impossible to come by. Thanks, Konami, for that. Another brilliant job from you guys, and I know I'm never going to get a sponsorship at this rate, but I can't just sit here and pretend that's okay. Like, let me know in the comments, what do you guys think of this change? As you can tell, I'm fucking outraged. If you can come up with any more reasons as to why, help us justify what the fuck could be the point of this change, let me know. But I don't think it's going to be worth it either way. But if you enjoyed the rant, make sure to subscribe. New videos, hopefully each week. I don't even really know what I'm doing anymore now that Konami have dropped this bombshell. But yeah, see you then.